and welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Holly Lee. I am a career coach that has a huge passion in sharing everything that I have learned and taught as a talent leader, which means recruiting leader from majority of the top technology companies such as Amazon, Google, Meta, Facebook, and Microsoft. Today, I am here. If you're truly new, just so you know, I do come live 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is absolutely free. Malola, how are you? Woohoo! For my VIP members, sorry, I can't tone myself down. Malola, how are you? I get, as you guys can see, extremely excited when any of my VIP coaching member landed a position with any of the Faang employers and they remember the community by coming back and supporting them. I'm so happy to see you. Look at this face, girl. Thank you. You made my day. I know. Have you started at Microsoft yet? What is going on? Okay, I'm here for you. Drop all of your questions. I do have a paid YouTube membership tier. No pressure. No, you're not obligated. This is totally free. But if I get feeling a little bit overwhelmed, if there's a lot of questions in here and I know the clock is ticking, it's over an hour, and I wanted to get through as many people as I can, I do not like to rush things through. I like to take my time in coaching you and giving you the best tip and strategy because professionals, I have worked for all of those companies before. Okay. So if you wanted me to what am I saying? Lord, answer your questions a lot faster, you could always super chat or hit join in any of the video to become a member so I can prioritize that way. Okay. Again, absolutely free. If it gets a little bit too much, I would change it into member mode only. So people, drop all of your questions for me. Before I start, I wanted to talk a little bit about my Star Interview Accelerator. I don't promote really any of my services or anything that I do. Maybe I should, right? I don't do it because I think I've been so busy since 2020 into pumping content for you guys and coming up here and live streaming. I used to live stream twice a week. I had to pull back because now I am homeschooling my son as well. I want to spend a couple minutes to talk about my Start Interview Accelerator. I'm actually going to remake the entire program and considering of tag teaming with an ex-Amazonian high-level product leader into creating the best product for you that is the most affordable. I understand. I get it. I hear a lot of you guys, even though my digital interview master course was 800 and what did I charge? $875, something like that. That price is extremely reasonable with the content that's being in there because not everyone can just copy and paste, right? Because you've got examples for tech and non-tech. You've got my star template of questions, basically questions that will be asked from all of the Faang company and not just Amazon. By the way, if you're my VIP coaching member, shout out VIP. I know a couple of you guys are in there. I know your name or former a VIP member. It's the same template, okay? So my premium coaching and my digital course is the same template. The difference is that you're getting me as a coach actually coaching you live. That's VIP coaching, okay? So just a little bit content. I'm working really hard for the first half of this year. If you guys follow me on social media, if you haven't already, please do connect with me. I'm Holly Lee on LinkedIn. How ironic is that? I'm the only coach that's Holly Lee on LinkedIn. It's like John Doe, right? Make sure that you connect with me to keep up to speed on what is coming up next. Most of the stuff I'm doing, guys, are free. I repeat, most of a lot of the stuff that I'm putting out, webinar like these live coaching and whatnot, they're really free for you, okay? So I wanted to hear feedback. I put out a poll on LinkedIn over the weekend because I care of who's watching my content. It seems like 50-50. I get a lot of professionals who are struggling to land job interview with the top tech companies, the ones I've already mentioned, and the other 50% are those who's really struggling into landing the right job offer or acing their interview to land an offer, okay? So I want you to participate. If you don't participate, for example, leaving me a comment right now, give a girl some coffee. A girl needs some coffee to keep this party going, okay? I'm all ears. I read every single comment, every single thing, even though I have a virtual team that helps me keep things. I should, in full disclosure, it's not always me that's reading your LinkedIn messages. I love getting them, but it gets out of hand at times because 99% of my community member, I love you guys. You guys know I love you guys. And because of you, I hit 30,000 subscribers. So thank you very much. But there's no way, guys, for me to intelligently give you a quick interview tip or answer relocation questions and can you review my offer? I can't do that. That's why I'm creating digital course. It's so, I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it's so affordable. Take this for example, okay? This is my branding course. The LinkedIn Accelerator is actually free in this resume accelerator and it's 450. That price, I don't have any intention at all to increase that price. It stays that way because if there's any changes, it's going to add on more and more and more. And guess what, guys? You have access to it. You have access to it forever. Okay? So um and if you I know there's a lot of new folks. This is the most innovative thing that I've done. Don't forget to download this and start creating your story because a lot of you guys are so anxious for your Amazon interviewed. I'm beginning to get some Google now, but more Amazon heavy. You need to create your story. When you got no story, you're not going anywhere. Okay. I don't care if you're interviewing at Google or at Facebook. You still, at the end of the day, need to create your story. Yes, the interview process is a little bit different between all of those famed employer, but at the end of the day, if you can't tell me with breadth and depth, not just breadth, okay, with breadth and depth, fluidly making me understand as someone who doesn't come from your industry, then you're not going to get hired with any of those employer. Okay. I just have to be very forthright and upfront with you because when you can tell before I jump on my Tuesday live stream, I literally read all of your messages, right? It's really fresh in my mind for that reason. Okay. So there's a couple announcements. One is I am going to revamp and remake my digital course only, Star Interview Accelerator. The price, it's probably not going to change, but I'm adding on triple the amount of content in there for you. It's just that my style is, when I say quick, interview prep is not quick, by the way. I'm talking about my teaching is very quick, it's very simplistic. And some of the feedback is, Holly, wow, that is it. I was expecting, I don't know, I was expecting like a whole lot more on the Amazon leadership principle because I don't focus on just the Amazon leadership principle. If you guys only focus on 16 leadership principle, think about that, guys. Multiply by 2, 3 example, you're going to be prepping for 6 months. My goal is to get you prep in 30, 60, or 90 days, get in and get out on a digital course. So, and then I get majority bulk of the folks who says, Holly, I bought your digital course over the weekend and I aced my interview. No complaint, no excuses, no BS whatsoever. You hear what I'm saying? That is why I did a little pause and time out. I thank you. A lot of you guys mentioned that, Holly, what happened to your course? I can't purchase that. Is because my team and I wanted to evaluate every single thing on how can we cater towards every single audience in every single work of life. So I felt like I need to do a better job at that. I'm a very transparent coach. For example, folks who are in college right now, and those are the ones I see who are, it's, I don't want to spend the whole live stream talking about college folks. It is made for an affordable price, right? If you think about that. But the content, you need to follow it and then complain about it. If you guys don't follow anything that you purchase and complain about it right away, of course it's not going to work, right? If I'm making sense to you, please say yes on the very bottom right here. Say yes, Holly, we agree with you. Okay? Mr. Bryan Miller, welcome. Iffy, I think you are new. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Hidden Jim. It sounds like Hidden Jim. Hidden, welcome. Hidden Knee, thank you for coming back supporting. SG, welcome back. Bose, hello. Sarah, Joey Star, how are you? Juan, hello. Trevene, Joshua, Omola, my girl. Lola, Yola, welcome. All right, now I'm ready to answer all of your questions. Give it all to me, please. If you're new, let me know where you are tuning in from. It's very important because your geography dictates, for example, the type of questions that you're asking. If it's salary negotiation, there's a big difference, right? You guys know that depending on what state or what country you are in. So please be very specific with your question. I'm a very specific coach, okay? You want intelligent answer, you got to ask me things that are very specific. Okay? All righty. Loyola, glad to see you. I have an interview coming. Gosh, I'm stressed. If you're really stressed out, it's okay. When we are stressed and anxious, that only means that we care. We care to do well. That's really the bottom line of it. So, the biggest advice I can give you, Loyola, let me go ahead and pin you over here so you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're really stressed out, you're really anxious, the quick thing on top of my mind is build your environment in front of you. Make sure that you feel very comfortable on the day of the interview. Even if you hate jogging, hate walking, hate meditation, start being it with a best friend because you really need to calm down your nerve. Okay. I've seen a lot of interview gone wrong, not because the professional doesn't have the requirement for the role. It's because they're so anxious or they haven't interviewed for 10 years and they get really um, scrappy. Okay. Sometimes there's only so much you can do to prep. All right. So the day before your interview, 24 hours before your final loop interviewed with Amazon or whatever company of your choice, stop. Do not prep for 24 hours. Do not prep until the night of or the day of your interview. Don't do that because your brain needs to rest. If anything, I'd rather you guys sleep for 15 hours. Yeah, I'm being so serious because it's mentally very draining to interview for an Amazon loop. They will drill very deep into every single thing. They will question every single thing that you do. I say this because I spent 7 years of my life on Amazon. I taught interview training for tech and non-tech. I also went through and hung out with the Amazon bar racer all the way up into director level 8. Do I have level 8 or was it level 10? I lost. I'm losing it right now. Okay. Director level bar racer even. And we know and we say the same thing where there are times where a lot of these employers, they don't look for perfect fit. You guys know there's no such thing, yeah? There's no perfect fit. They're looking for fit. What on earth does that even mean? A fit is if you have the hunger to learn, if you're able to adapt to the different culture, if you're able to ask smart probing questions, you're gonna get a job. You're gonna get hired, okay? Over and over and over again, and I say this in my VIP weekly coaching as well, where one of my best, or actually all of my best hire that I've ever made in my 25 years of career have zero experience, no tech, nothing. Okay. Pizza delivery, the guy who chops lumber for a living, ex-military. True story, by the way. One of one of my, I'm sorry. Inappropriate. One of my recruiters who teaches kids how to read for nonprofit. You see where I'm going? None of these folks have any experience with recruiting with tech companies or know anything about tech. They barely know what software engineering is, and they're hired. And those are a lot of my top performers, and they're still with the company that I hired them for, like Facebook and Amazon, for example, and get promoted multiple times. So it really depends on how smart you are in asking probing question. Okay, I don't think I need to repeat myself again. So when you're anxious, it's okay. That only means that you care. Malola, so good to hear that you're doing well, girl. It means the world to me. You've been through the VIP coaching program, and please do share any tips or best practices that you have learned from my program and help the community in how you're able to ace your job offer with Microsoft. Oh my goodness, coffee. Can we talk about coffee for a quick second here? My good friend recently went to Honolulu and bought me some Hawaiian coffee, and I'm just it's so yummy and dark. Okay, alrighty. About the light. Oh, it's actually kind of bugging me a little bit. Sorry, guys. Let me change my light setting a little bit. Is that better? No, that is. That's actually not. Okay, right there. There you go. That's a little bit better. I wanted to apologize for my setting will stay like this for the next 2 months because I'm actually in the middle of tearing down my gear or my studio. My studio. A It's a corner of my room, by the way. I don't really have a studio. So I'm looking for a bigger space. I'm actually considering moving out of state. That's why you're seeing a lot of the a lot of things are going to be moving around, people, okay? Eventually I'm going to end up live streaming in my kitchen. But thank you for showing up. Hey Joshua, how are you? Trevene, hello Trevene. You got an offer. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So happy for you, girl. HR Contract Center Associates. Oh, yes, ERC. I know them very well. So the ERC team at Amazon um, handles all of the human resource means handling employees. For example, payroll services, benefits. If you have questions about anything after you have landed an offer as an employee, that's the ERC team. Do you know more about this role? Yes, if you're a contract center associate, depends because ERC is it's so broad. Let me explain myself, meaning that depending on what your scope is, you're probably going to be managing a number of different projects and services. As mentioned earlier, you're handling internal employees and all of their needs. I am a prone in calling our ESCs ERC center, and I love them. They're the one that says, "Hey, by the way, I forgot my login, my ATP at Amazon. Can you please help me out? Can you direct me of who's handling our healthcare services? By the way, I'm interviewing internally at Amazon ERC. I'm missing some data. Can you help me pull that up?" So depending on what it is, the ERC is a portal for everything catering for your internal customers. Okay. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations to you. All right. If you have any other questions, Trevene, please do drop it in the live chat. And remind me if I haven't already to send you a link to my private Facebook group. Yes, I have a secret group for all of those who resulted in job offer. I don't care what company, but it is 90% Amazon heavy. I don't know. You guys are so stubborn. You just want to work for Amazon. Um, so that I can keep in touch with you. And I used to do a live coaching bi-weekly. It's just that I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to. So that's my private Facebook group. Trevene, make sure you reach out to me via LinkedIn so I can invite you, okay? Juan, how are you, Juan? Juan says, I have a Netflix. Oh, I'm so happy. Yes, a questions outside of Amazon makes me so happy. I have a Netflix behavioral round coming in soon. Any tips super nervous? Thanks in advance. So the can't talk, the Netflix questions is also very similar to Amazon, okay? You have to be very specific. Remember, guys, very specific with your questions. What are you interviewing for? Okay? What are you interviewing for? The tip that I'm giving you for Amazon, use that model for whatever company you're interviewing for. Earlier on, I talk about you're still here? Hey, girl. Even if you get a job at Microsoft or Apple or Google or Meta, the process that I'm teaching you is the same thing. I don't specifically teach you all Amazon. I don't. And a lot of you who purchase any of my digital course or my VIP live coaching with me, you know that, right? It's because I want you very selfishly to land a job offer with any faint employer and not just Amazon, okay? So be specific. If you are a technical professional, for example, for SDM, SE, and TPM, Amazon's number one famous technical question is design Netflix, right? You must be thinking, Holly, what on earth does designing Netflix have to do with Amazon? It has everything to do with Amazon and Google and Meta because they wanted to see in an event where you have to build something new. One, how well do you do under pressure when the product has nothing to do with like Amazon, for example, right? Two, if you can design Netflix, that's something an employer like Amazon, like basically a lot of these software services or software portal or platform knows that you know how to system design and architect, right? Because by the end of the day, you still need to have the same skills. That is why. Okay. I like to dive very, very deep when I provide coaching because I've literally am a training. I was an interview trainer as well for Google for a couple of years. I actually helped them build their they call them SET at the time, software engineering and test for all of the product and services, including hardware, fiber optic data centers, so on and so forth. So I understand the technologies and how they hire very well. It's just that when you're interviewing at Netflix, specifically, Juan, you have to really cater your stories around relatable answer. Okay. Let me repeat. If you're interviewing for a certain employer, you look at the employer, Netflix as an example. What do they do? They're an online digital media company platform, right? So the example you're giving them, try to get as close as possible. You want to talk about things like streaming, videos, what language I have. I'm just totally making this up, Juan, because I have no idea what your position title is or your background, right? So you want to talk about relatable things that folks in a technology company like Netflix will understand what you're saying. If you're coming from, let's just say, healthcare, no one cares. No one cares about the example. If you keep on saying, yeah, I built healthcare with this, healthcare. No, 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 no. Cut it out. Don't say that. I built a service or a tool for my healthcare clients in helping them what? Being able to pull patient data for over, 15,000. What I'm just totally making it up, by the way. You hear where I'm going? You want to talk about the tools, the technology, the software, whatever it is that is relatable to that employer. That's the number one biggest thing, guys, that interview gone wrong, because a lot of the candidates don't think about that. They just say, okay, let me just go ahead and write my stories. And I don't understand, Holly. I'm so bummed. I bomb my interview. It's not that you bomb your interview just to bomb your interview, because sometimes what you don't know. I'm very, very particular in the way I coach. It's because I've seen it with my own eyes of what went wrong. And I have what is called a shadower. I have shadowed every single hiring managers and hiring team in my life. The folks who have worked with me in my stakeholder, as in all of the hiring managers, they know. And I'm still very good friends with a lot of them, even best friend, in matter of fact. They know that, they often get very surprised if I were to say, hey, director of engineering, do you mind if I shadow the way you interview my leadership candidate? And the first thing they would look at me like, really? You want to? Oh, that's cool. You want to sit through a full hour and listen to me? Yeah. By the way, I want to do it multiple times because I want to learn the lingo. I want to see what type of question you ask my candidates. I care. And because I'm a geek, okay? I'm a geek because I'm a computer science at heart. I actually have a complete computer science degree. That's how geeky I am. And I want to learn the technology. So when you're interviewing for this Faang company, you got to ask yourself, how and what are you doing to dive deep? I just gave you guys an example where if I'm handling a new org or focusing on a group of clientele, I go really deep, meaty, gritty in learning every single thing of not only why are they hiring for that specific role, how, what, give me an example, what type of questions do you ask, and what exactly are they doing? Okay? So dive super deep when you're interviewing with Faang, and that will save your life. Sarah, hello, Sarah. I know this is your second time. Let me know if you have any question. This light is really bugging me. I'm slowly going to have no light source. Is that? Hang on, guys. It's just really bugging me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut off all my light. This is natural windows. Just an FYI, when you're interviewing, never ever use natural window because I live in Seattle. So if the light source changes, I would be pitch black. So you always want to have at least a ring light or some kind of light in front of you. Okay? Don't do what I'm doing right now. Alrighty. Joey, how are you, my friend? I'm back to the time zone to attend this live. I know. Welcome back, Joey. Sarah. Okay, let's see what our friend Sarah had to say. Oh no, what happened to my I'm sorry guys. This is I don't know why this is acting a little. Okay, hopefully I have fixed that. I know guys, I'm trying something different. I don't know why I'm trying something different. Every time I do, something's going to go wrong, but I'm very finicky in showing up right. You see what I'm saying? You sometimes you just gotta quit. Don't try to be perfect. Sarah says, I have my last round of interview coming up, the loop virtual. Since it will not be in person, should I have my work ready to share any screen as a tangible proof of achievement, numbers, and etc.? Not necessarily. It's just looking at the camera. Sarah, my friend, what are you interviewing for? Give me a little bit more content so I can provide you with a better answer. Okay. Malola, okay, I haven't had a chance to take a look at my LinkedIn yet, but let me see what your questions are, okay, girl? Yulia, hey Yulia, how are you? Yulia, I think I saw a message from you on LinkedIn. I apologize, I'm falling behind at the moment. I believe I saw your name coming through. Hey, mentally I'm there, okay? I'm just pulling a little bit behind, but I will get back to you, all of you guys, this week. Sarah, is it okay to look down at notes or should the notes be out of the site? This is an excellent question, Sarah. Let me go ahead and put this in the live chat so the audience can take a look. By the way, all of you guys who are watching right now, don't be shy. If you guys are dropping a comment, at the very least, give me a thumbs up in this video because that's really going to help my Google algorithm. Google, YouTube, same thing. If no one is watching, no one is commenting, Google doesn't like that. Okay. This is free live coaching right here, and not everyone can afford a coach. And that's why I am doing this. So if you're really shy and watching, I won't be able to answer your question if you don't drop it in. Okay. All right. Um, well, this is a tricky question, Sarah. I know that if you ask the same questions with 1,000 other coaches, everyone would tell you something very, very different. I came from an entire recruiting background. I've been a manager, I've been a trainer, I've seen a lot of things. I've sat in thousands and thousands of different debrief. If you keep on looking at your note, people are going to think that one, you're going to lose trust. You don't have the experience. You're a lot more junior than expected, especially when you're interviewing at a level 6. You should not be looking at any note at all. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. However, if you must, okay, I would pick maybe 3, no more than 5. 3, 5 max of the questions that you're truly struggling with, which is why I teach the simplistic version of the star format. I hate saying it the star method, but it's not really the star method. It's just very concise to help you remember some of the key component during an on-site. Because guys, if you have a notebook, hang on a second, let me grab mine. If you have a notebook here and if you write all your questions, I don't care if you have like a big poster board or whatnot, the day of your interview, you will be so anxious, your brain will freeze up. The last thing you want to do is this, right? Like flipping pages or looking around, rolling your eyes. Here's a big ticker. When you're on video, when you're moving your eyes even very slowly in camera, I'm sorry, when you're moving your eye looking for things, it may physically really fast, but in camera, it actually slow things down. I repeat, you do not want to look at multiple monitor or looking for your notes because on the camera, it will look like you're rolling your eyes or you're looking for your notes. You do not want that, okay? Again, this is just my personal experience. I know other coaches and other creators actually advise for you to look at your notes. I will not advise for you to do that. Why don't you put yourself in an interviewer's perspective? Do you want to hire someone who's looking for their notes? Okay. So if anything, I would say allow yourself time to prep and make sure you're ready. Okay. Yes, my Lola, VIP member. Yes, yes, yes. I wish every single one of my VIP member will come back because I have helped quite a couple hundred since 2020 land a job with their top pick of Faang companies. Your videos have been very helpful and humbling in regards in getting to this spot. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Sarah. Actually, every time when someone says that, I cringe a little bit because I think that when it comes to production, even like right now, I could step up and be better, but I just don't have the time because guys, I have a YouTube channel for 2.5 years, but for the first 2 years, I record, I edit, I taught myself everything. I've hired 6 coaches just on YouTube. I do everything on my own and I had no clue what I'm doing. So I'm very, very scrappy. Okay. Because I'm very passionate in coaching and helping you put foot on the table for you and your family, whatever that may be. I'm just passionate in helping people in my community that I work really hard in building. That's really it. And I do read all of your comments, and not all comments are positive, which I appreciate the feedback. But there's a lot of comment that says, Holly, like right now, someone is going to say something about my back. Holly, you're too bright. Can you please lower it? Well, I just told you, I'm in the middle of moving. There's nothing I can do. Why don't you go ahead and have a YouTube channel and try to teach people? Then you know exactly what I'm going through. Okay. So this is what I mean. A lot of the time, the unconscious bias, what we see, we don't know where the person's coming from, and we just immediately judge. Okay. I want to share that part is very important because as you're interview prepping, the interviewer doesn't mean to have any kind of biases based on the content and your industry background. That's why you need to share relatable things with them, okay? Verbiage that are related to the company you're interviewing for. If not, people don't understand and it's not relatable. I hope that analogy helped you out. Hello, Bryan, Bryan. Next Tuesday, sorry guys, I'm still getting over this winter allergy. I don't think it'll go away. I'm going to live stream in my kitchen. I hope you're all excited about that. Because this natural window light over here, window light source is bugging me. Bryan says, I received word via phone that I'm supposed to be getting an offer from AWS. All right. Everybody say congratulations for the 3 folks who landed a job offer today. But it's been 5 weeks and still no offer. This is very common, Bryan, okay? Let me pause for 1 second here. I say that this is very common because in my VIP coaching, I've actually had a lot of folks who are waiting for the Amazon offer, and sometimes the longest I've ever heard is 2 months. It is true because they are moving fast. They have their top pick of candidate. They either don't have an open rec or they need to create a rec or take a rec from another team, which means they have to go through a chain of approval to make that position title live, and which means there's a likelihood they have to tweak the job description for legal and compliance services. I know I'm giving you guys a lot more information than's needed, but I'm trying to make you guys understand companies like Amazon, they don't hold back, and it's definitely don't lag. Amazon is not an employer that lag. If anything, they will move really fast. But because they're hiring so fast, I'm assuming that they have to create a rec. Okay? Things to keep in mind is to get a position or a job ID approved, it could take up to 2 weeks because a job have to go live for, I think, 7 business days or 10 business days. The last time I recruited for Amazon was about 5 years ago, so I can't really remember all that detail, but it takes time. You see, there's a couple tips I need to give you, Bryan. 1, congratulations, my friend. 2, make sure you are already LinkedIn. If not already, reach out to your future hiring manager. This is critical, okay? This is what I coach my VIP pay client, my premium service. Make sure you reach out to the recruiter and the hiring manager every single week. Every single week, okay? Follow up and say, hey, I know that you're really busy right now, but I'm so excited to work for you, Mr. or Mrs. Hiring Manager. Do you have any time frame to know when I will be expecting my offer? Something along that line, okay? If you are a local hired in Seattle, whatever geography you are, it's really the hiring manager's job. It's not your job, Bryan. I would even say, you know what? I'm so excited. I know I'm waiting for the formal offer, but it would be great if you have time. I would love to jump on a 15-minute video coffee just to learn more about what I'm getting into, expectation. I'm so excited, and my name is Bryan. I just wanted to know what project did you have my name on and how I could be coming up to speak quickly. You're doing that for 2 things, Bryan. 1, you want to show that whatever reason that is at Amazon, you're not going to pull the offer back. I'm ready and I am anxious, right? 2, not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people are ballsy enough to say, hey, hiring manager, come on, what's up? Where's my onboarding plan? Let's go. The clock is ticking. That shows a lot of ownership, a lot. And you're getting your future manager excited because you're actually going above and beyond, right? So, Bryan and everyone else, I know I have quite a few folks who reach out to me via LinkedIn to mention that they have an offer at Amazon for a couple of weeks and they feel like the recruiter have ghosted them. I will put the blame on the recruiter, and you guys know how I feel about the recruiters. I come from recruiting, so that's a big pet peeve of mine. Huge pet peeve of mine. Okay, you always get back to your candidate. I don't care what the excuses are. I think I'm done there. Alrighty, carry on. If it's play afternoon. I've been watching tons of your video. I have a final round next week. I'm nervous as heck. Thank you for putting these content. Well, best of luck to you, Efiki. And Bryan, if your recruiter hasn't responded to your email or voicemail for 3 weeks, I will contact the hiring manager and every single person that you have ever interacted with, like the recruiting coordinator, the sourcer, okay? When you have reached the offer stage, you have been in contact with 3 different people in the recruiting space: the person who's scheduling your interview, the person who sourced you or found you, and the hiring manager, okay? There's no way that you make it through the loop and they forgot about you. It's impossible for that to happen. Hidden Chim says, okay, guy, I have to move this to member mode right now, okay? Because I'm seeing a lot of questions. I want to make sure that everyone's question is going to get answered, especially the YouTube community member. You're always welcome to join by clicking the join button or super chat if you want. I want to make sure I've answered every single question that I'm staring at right now before I end the live stream, okay? First timer here watching your video of the past 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Tomorrow I have my first Chime interview for Transfer Program Manager. Curious what LP I should consider as replying all of the leadership principle. Leadership principle, guys, are a company's philosophy, right? If you're interviewing for a company, you need to know what all of the philosophy is. Now, you don't have to be an expert in those philosophy. You need to know what it is, okay? You have to know. And when you're creating your stories, every single one of your stories should reflect back to the customer. I repeat, every single one of your story should be thinking about the customers, what you're solving for the customers, who is the customers, how are you impacting the customers, and what is your return on investment of the customer, okay? I made a video called Customer Obsessions. I want to apologize up front. That video was kind of horrific. It was done in my closet and I had no clue how to film and edit, and I was very nervous. I may be sweating in that video as well. Give a girl a thumbs up. Go check out that video. Listen to the content. I talk about the importance of customer obsession. It's not just for Amazon. If you use the content of that live stream replay, the timestamp is in there, by the way, you could implement that for all of the other interview questions, okay? What did we learn today? Always be thinking about the customers. All right. Bose says, I just submitted an online application job for Google. Okay. Let me put this here. I decided to upload my resume as PDF instead of doc. That's great. I highly recommend that. PDF over doc any day, because you don't want people to edit or touch any of your credentials. They can't because it's a doc. But it seemed the formatting went out of line. Well, because it's Google Doc. It's been a long time. The last I worked for Google was about 10, 11 years ago. I don't think that is the case. You should have a number of ways to download Google Doc. I can tell you this though, the folks at Google, they don't really use Microsoft products. So if you use Word Doc, even though they have it on their I almost said iMac, their MacBook, most of everyone at Google use a MacBook or MacBook Air. But they have a version of Microsoft Word and also PDF. I don't think that should be an issue, but I would just maybe try to save it as a Google Doc if that would help you out, to help Google out. Okay? Prime. Hey, Prime. This is my gaming channel, but nice to meet you. My name is Gio. Listen, please don't promote here, Prime. This is the reason why I have paid YouTube member to get all the spammer away. So please do not come into my live streaming to promote yourself, because you, my friend, will be blocked. 3, 2, 1. That's it. And you are gone from my channel, okay? Guys, I really hate turning my channel into a paid membership live streaming tier. As you can see, I try to be as low dollar amount as possible, as $3.99, because of this issue. I hate spammer coming in promoting their own channel, because it has nothing to do with adding value to you guys. All right? Aisha, how are you, Aisha? Good to see you. Nina, good to see you from Seattle. Hello. Okay. Bose says, can you help by connecting with a recruiter to help with the issue if doable? Thanks. Bose, here's the thing. I left Amazon a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago or so. And even so, I cannot connect you with a recruiter because I have so many of the same requests. I just don't want to be that person to say, hey, by the way, I have, 100 more people asking for help. I won't be able to help you. And in respect to Amazon, I don't want to put my foot or be in the place where, I hate to say that, it has nothing to do with my business. I owned Holly Lee and Associates, and I don't want to cross that line. I hope you understand. It's not that I don't want to help you. It's just that I'm getting the same requests from a lot of the people, the best thing I can tell you is you need to be reaching out, both to every single person who are in the loop in the phone interview that you have interact with. Amazon is not a company that would ghost you. There's got to be a reason. That recruiter of yours may be on vacation. That person may quit the job and you're leaving hanging, right? I blame two people in this incident. One is a recruiter, the other one's a hiring manager. Even if one of the others on vacation or transfer out of the org, they should never forget a candidate who have made it through the interview loop, right? There's also the recruiting coordinator as well. So I don't know what is going on with this org specifically. So if I were you, I wouldn't just follow up with one person, the recruiter. I would follow up with every single person that you have the contact information. Okay? That's ownership. Just let's really push through the ownership. This is exactly what I coach my VIP coaching member, by the way. And the hiring manager was so impressed that they just what happened there? One of the most recent example, they just, rather than waiting for a rec to get approved, they really convinced one of their peers to borrow a requisitions to make an offer to this person, and that VIP member was a senior solution architect for them. Okay, that's just an example. Alrighty. Okay. Loyola. Hey, Loyola. Prime, I'm really sorry. I know that you have questions right now, but because you are promoting my information, your YouTube channel, your promotion has been removed from my live stream. So if you're interested to get your questions answered, you will have to come back as a different non-promotional person, because is spamming my community. Okay. Loyola says, I already had another interview with Amazon 2 weeks ago, but failed. I have now another chance tomorrow and another role, but still very stressed. Here's the thing, guys. First of all, Loyola, I would highly encourage you to go look at my fail attempt. It's a playlist, by the way, with timestamp. It's very short. It tells you exactly what to do before you take another interview. Because, guys, if you fail an interview once and then you re-interview like the next day, the next year even, I'm not saying you're going to fail again, but unless you're doing something different, the chances of you acing an interview is very slim. I'm just being very fruitful here because as a coach, 99% of all of my customers have failed their attempt because they don't listen. That's why I have a playlist called Fail Interviewed. So go check that out and be interview ready. You don't even have to work with me or pay for me or be in my coaching services. There's a lot of strategies and free things in there that you have to really have the patience to do the work to fix it. If you don't know what the gap is, I will not recommend taking another interview literally the next day. Okay? Not recommend that. David, I'm doing full cycle recruitment for agency for 2 years, setting up a business phone screen with the recruiter. Is it okay to share experience from the past as an investment advisor to stick to recruit? You don't have to have experience specifically to recruiting, David. Let me pull your questions on here so the audience will know what I'm answering. But depending on the questions, right? For example, if the question is, tell me about the biggest problem you've ever solved, you can talk about recruitment or you can talk about investment. But if I'm asking you for your recruiting strategies, it has nothing to do with investment, right? What are you doing as an investment advisor? If you don't participate in a recruitment strategies or building top talent, then it's irrelevant. Do you see where I'm going? I hope that answers your questions, David. Alrighty. Hang on one second, guys. Okay. Kevin says, could you clarify on what you mean by probing questions? By probing questions, the role I'm aiming for at Amazon is working on something new. That doesn't really tell me what you're interviewing for. I know the industry, but they cannot share more. Kevin, my friend, what position are you interviewing for, Kevin? Probing question is follow-up questions, like what I just did to you. If you're giving an interviewer or anyone a questions where they don't know where you're going, or they don't understand your question, they want to seek to understand more, then that's probing questions. Okay? Rachana, first time here. Well, welcome, Rachana. Do you help preparing tech interview? That's a really good question. I don't have a tech interview course. I will not recommend anyone to take a tech interview course and expect to ace an interview. Guys, please help a girl out here. Keep your questions very specific because I don't even know how to answer your questions. If you are a tech professional, what tech do you need help with? Okay. Are you an SDM? Are you a TPM? Are you a solution architect? What are you? My VIP coaching is highly recommended because 50% of my cohort of 15, I only take 15 students at the same time. There's 50% are TPM, SDE, and SDM. The other 50% are finance leaders, product managers, program managers, so on and so forth. So it's 50-50. And we do have peer-to-peer mock interviewed and resources for the tech side as well, where I do have them do system design level. And I do ask tech questions during that. So you would be wondering, well, Holly, you're not a tech professional. How do you know if your answer is right or wrong? Because I've been shadowing so many thousands of tech interviewed. And in the program, as mentioned, 50% of them, there's SDM, there's high level, principal level, TPM, solution architect, so on and so forth. Okay. So in the cohort, I'm not the only hiring managers. It's very heavy on the people management and leadership side. But to meet the criteria, for my VIP coaching, you need to have at least 10 plus years of experience. It is not an entry level cohort. I repeat, it is not an entry level cohort. Okay? Alrighty. So do you guys help me out here? Keep your questions as specific as possible. I haven't really had a lot of you guys tell me what position are you interviewing for so that we can move the stream along a lot quicker for you, okay? Trutin, hey Holly, just accepted my job offer. Job offer number 4. Yes. Ooh, wrong one. Thank you so much for coming in here, Trutin. Wanted to thank you for your videos. They help a lot. Well, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to your day 1, Trutin. Ritika, hello Ritika. Hope you are well. Any specific you would like to suggest recording sourcer recruiter role at Amazon? I have a loop interview in 2 days. If you are a sourcing recruiter, you have to be able to dive really deep on your sourcing strategies. It is huge on how you're able to create a strategies. I would be in shock if no one asked you to give your sourcing strength during the Zoom call. Okay, you need to come really, really prepared. Interview gone wrong for sourcing recruiter or recruiter is when you mention job board. You have to go beyond the job board, diving very deep. Rachel, hi Rachel. I am busy going through your video. I have a loop for an account manager position at AWS. I really want this job, but I still need to prepare my star scenario. I would spend the time in creating your scenario and making sure that you're comfortable. I don't know if you're interview prep. You can only know that, right? Because I don't know your background. I haven't seen your story, so on and so forth. But guys, I'm asking you, everyone, if you don't have the patience to prep and listen to yourself as you record, right, and prep for your Amazon interview, how are you expecting to get an offer? How are you expecting the interviewer to listen to what you're saying if you yourself don't even have the patience to prep? Okay, I'm just putting it out there. Alrighty. Nina, I'm now looking to switch over to Stripe or TikTok, going to look outside Amazon and Microsoft. Awesome. They're all great companies in their own way. Juan, thank you. Software engineering internship. If you're interviewing for an internship or a new grad, that's more power to you, which means they're not expecting you to get industry experience. Juan, you can use your academic experience, okay? You can absolutely do that. I've seen so many people who landed a job offer at the end of the day is because you're still fairly fresh. At the bare minimum, you need to somehow come to a conclusion in solving coding problem, all right? Your data structure, your algorithm, your binary tree, your mapping, or for example, solving tic-tac-toe problem. With hints, yes, with hints, they do want to see your ability to end up solving a problem at the end of the day. Sandy, do we need to look directly into a webcam the whole time? Indeed, you do, my friend, okay? Joey, I'm a bit anxious to start my new tech management role after years away from the industry. Watching your onboarding videos, any tips to get myself better prepared? Joey, first of all, let me just pause. When you're excited and you're anxious and you're nervous to start a new role, it's totally cool, girl. It's normal. I was anxious. I was so anxious when I accepted a role for Meta Oculus. That's most recently before I left my last corporate job. I was really nervous, even after working for 20 plus years in corporate, because you don't know what you're getting yourself into, right? Whatever the job description says and how wonderful during your whole interview process, it could be a flop, meaning that it could be completely different once you start your new job. But that's okay. Have fun. Just have fun. Take the first 30 days, learn everything you can, ask questions to understand more. At the end of the day, all you can do is to help yourself slowly come up to speed and eventually make friends and learn to partner with, like, I don't want to say mentor, it sounds really cheesy. Make friends with other people within your team or your org or outside of it. Okay? That usually really help to get you adapted to a new environment very quickly. Okay? Trevene, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for all you do. I have one last question. The position is seasonal. How do I stand out to become permanent? Excellent questions. You stand out by what I just gave Joey Starr, who accepted a job offer. You need to make friends with the people around you in the work environment. If no one wants you, I'm sorry. Let me take that. Not that no one wants you. If no one knows you, want you? Oh my God, coffee. Excuse me. If no one knows you, they don't know the great work that you're doing. Who here believe that as long as you put your head down and work hard, you're going to get promoted or get a permanent role? That's not true. I'm here to tell you guys that it is not true. If no one knows you, no one knows you. Who's going to write your performance review for you? If it's time for you to convert for a permanent position, if no one had worked next to you, Trevene, and know the great work that you've done, your communication skill, your ability to build rapport with your teammates, so on and so forth, it's hard to get permanent roles. So I would do that. I would highly encourage you to keep the conversation with your manager or your supervisor. Okay, basically tell this person that, you know what, I would love to be permanent or have a full time role with Amazon or ABC company. I would love to see if I would love to learn what it takes to get there and what are the opportunities looking like for this year. I would have the honest and open conversation because as a manager myself, it's great to have someone that has long-term vision and a goal to get there. And I would take that person more so seriously and set them up to be successful. And furthermore, Trevin, I would absolutely schedule a regular meeting with this person, even though you are seasonal, right? Just say, hey, by the way, I know I'm a seasonal employee right now, but is there any way that I could schedule a meeting with you bi-weekly? It's really important for me to know that I'm up to your expectation because the end of my goal is to stay here long term with Amazon. Okay? All righty. Cindy, hey Cindy. I failed the Amazon interview last month. I was really interested in the position. Can I reapply for the same role? You can always reapply for anything you want, but I would ask for you guys to not do that. Go check out my fail interview playlist and you'll understand exactly what I said, Cindy. Okay? That is the playlist. John, when you talk about salary outside of Faang, can you talk about salary outside of Faang? Can you? I'm not understanding your question, John. Are you looking for any company specific? What is your position title? What is your level? The question is very vague, so I need you to help me out. If you can be more specific of what your question may be, okay? Hungry for employment. Good to see you here. Doing well. Glad I'm able to join as you provide very useful information. Star, star, star. I love it. Hungry for Employment is one of my original. That's why I remember you, Ed. You're one of my most original person when I live streamed 2.5 years ago in my closet. When I speak to the wall, like literally the clothes that was hanging in front of me in my closet, you were literally the only person watching, and I had to fake and pretend like I was looking at a bunch of people because it was so awkward for me. Thank you, Ed. It is true. You never, ever, ever forget your first customers, your first audience, your first anything. So thank you for coming back, Ed. Sarah, account executive role with ATS. That's huge. Examples of numbers, market share, previous projects, and etc. Yes, that is correct, Sarah. Chu On V says, Tanya, how are you? Good to see you here, Tanya. Okay. I have a second phone interview tomorrow at Amazon. I'm getting back to work after 12 years of break. Earlier, I had 8 years of experience. Do you think having a break is bad or getting a job at Amazon? No, I don't think so. Oh God, this light is bugging me. I said I don't think so because I've helped a lot of people who took off 4 years and 10 years to raise their kid. Okay. That's a common thing that I'm seeing, or for Family Matters. Um, that is not it, but they're also evaluating your 8+ years of industry experience. What have you done 8+ years ago? And are those skills still pretty fresh? Which means, are you able to articulate all of your greatest business achievement that you have made? Okay. I'm also being kind of vague here because I don't know anything about your background. And I know you guys are getting kind of sick of me telling you to be as specific as you can with your questions. So I'm not just to talk out of it. Talk what that doesn't make sense. Just to put it out there. Okay. I'm a very specific coach. I'm a very specific hiring manager. And I like things to add value. So in order for me to add value, you need to give me more content. What are you doing 8+ years prior to that? Because that's what Amazon or other employers would care about. Okay. And don't let that pull you back. You could absolutely end up with a great company or even change career, going through career transition in a whole different role and background as well. Okay. So, with that in mind, I'm going to, sorry guys, I'm going to move this over here. The screen may look a little bit funky. You see that? I warned you guys. The light source will looks really funky. I have to move things around. I want to make sure that a lot of the community members' questions are getting answered. Hang on one second, guys. Oh, sorry. I said I wanted to apologize, and I mean it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to member mode only to finish this up. Okay. If Ifichi, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Let's go here. Alrighty, let's move to Tanya. It's been a long time. I felt it's been a long time if I haven't seen you for a week. I don't know why I felt that way. Okay, member mode is everyone who has the eat sleep star emoji next to it. Okay, Mr. John Gonzalez, if you have any more questions, please do let me know. Yes, Bryan. Congrats, Bryan. Congratulations, my friend. Let's go. I'm just going straight to members, okay? Congrats, Bryan. Hope it comes soon. Yes, yes. If you're waiting for your Amazon offer, you need to really show. I know you shouldn't. It's not your fault, right? I don't know why it takes so long. Usually, after someone have had a job offer, recruiters, hiring managers, you look at my face here, guys. I mean, come on. Come on, Amazon. Come on. Don't let someone wait for 5 weeks. Do not ghost them. Your hiring managers, you should be keeping tab on your new hire at least once a week, right? They should be on your radar. I don't care how busy you are. It is a top priority because without those new hire, the top talent that Amazon works so hard to hire for Amazon specifically, there's not going to be a whole lot of products and goods on the shelf. You need the new hire to start and ramp up quickly in order for you to meet your deliverables, right, Mr. and Mrs. Hiring Managers? So, anyway, Bryan, that one was for you. Alrighty. Aisha, switching career education to tech. I'm not sure how to do my resume to reflect transferable skill. Got some hits on LinkedIn, but I know I can get more if we're updated and change. Any suggestion? Well, if you're changing from education to tech, you don't have to change your entire resume because by the end of the day, for example, Aisha, your academic background or educational as an industry, what part of that has to do with services, tools, programs, or things that are as close to tech as possible? When you say tech, what are we talking about? Are we talking about project management, program management? Because there's a lot of folks coming from education working for like an Amazon or a Google, they could become a trainer. Okay. So you don't have to be coming from a tech background to transition into tech. Earlier on, I talk about this right here. This is my branding. I highly recommend you checking this out, Asia. This is a 50% off, by the way. It is a bundle of my Resume Accelerator and my LinkedIn Accelerator. It's a step-to-step 1.5 minute tutorial taking my personal resume from top down to teach you how to brand so you can hit those keyword or buzzword. No pressure. If you're interested in it, you're more than happy to. But that is the best thing I can give you. At least you're getting your brand notice out there. But in conclusion, Aisha, you don't need to come from a traditional background in order for you to transition. Oh, God, hey, doing this. Let me go lock it. There you go. There, so much better. There you go. Okay. Aisha, let me know if that answers your questions. And if you guys have any more questions, you could always drop it in the comment section even after the live chat. Okay. Sarah says, in my round 1 interview for AWS, they asked me multiple 3-part experience questions. Some of them are very hard to find an example that hit all 3, very specific. Yes, Amazon is the most Earth, as in our globe, Earth's specific questions. I'm a very specific person, okay? I think Amazon attract a certain type of highly ambitious, I don't mean to say this the wrong way, A-type personality, A-type doer like this who thinks very quick on their feet. I am A-type. I'm not offending anyone. This is just my personal experience. And I'm trying to think about all the great performers at Amazon, everyone that I know. They're extremely A-type. Okay. I'm still very A-type when it comes to even running my own business, even right now, right? Look at the way how I'm trying to dive deep and giving you guys content. I'm not giving you guys basic information. I'm actually telling you exactly how to go from 0 to hero. Not go here or go there or pay for this. I'm actually telling you exactly what to do. So that's Amazon for you. Okay. If you Sarah, if you truly need help, in just honing down like this very specific example, if you guys think about the STAR method, okay, go take a look at the Amazon Leadership Principle questions and example playlist. That is the best playlist that it's free, by the way. And a lot of my templates are on there, including the one that I've just mentioned right here. Sarah, this is for you. Download this. This is a link. It's just hollylee.co/start download. It's free, by the way. No catch whatsoever. So if you do that, if you read it, it's diving extremely deep and being able to provide an answer in less than 1 minute. Okay. So if you follow the format for every single one of those questions, you should be able to create your story at the bare minimum, 20 different stories. Okay. Gloria, thank you for all the amazing, helpful videos and advice. They've helped me prepare. Oh, you got a verbal offer. Congratulations. Yes, Gloria. Congrats, girl. Good for you. And thank you for coming by. Joey, thank you for your advice. Of course, Joey. Sarah says, is it okay to answer with your closest example star format? You should answer all of the behavioral questions using the star format. By the way, in my digital star interview accelerator or my VIP coaching, my coaching is to frame the star method in my way. I'm not copying what the star method is, but I'm framing you to be extreme concise using the star foundation. The star helps you to stay concise so you would make sense. If you do not use the star method, it will be very unclear what you're solving for and how you're supposed to do that and what on earth are you delivering. What is your result? Okay. So I would highly recommend using the star method, even for technical question for all of you guys, right? What are you solving for and what is the ROI? My yoga ball. Sorry, guys. My yoga ball is slowly moving away. Alrighty. Joshua, you need to show your work. Exactly, Joshua, you need to show your work. Rashal says, thank you, Holly. I will put in the effort to ensure that I land the offer, my loop in the 24th May. However, the recruiter has scheduled a prep session on the 22nd. Is it normal? Yes, it is. And they should. The recruiter prep call is anywhere between 50 to 15 minutes, not 50, sorry. 15 minutes to half an hour. It's really prepping to let you know who you're interviewing with, to let you know exactly what to do. Some recruiters, the good one, would actually tell you what leadership principle will be asked. Okay, so if I were you, there's no harm in asking your recruiter, which leadership principle should I focus on? Wink, wink. You see where I'm going? Not everyone's going to tell you. I would if I'm the recruiter because I want you to get the job. It's not cheating. It's just saving you time so you're not spending your time in creating stories and looking at things for the 16 leadership principle multiplied by 2 to 3 example. You guys do the math, right? No one got time to do with it. So I would take advantage of that. Okay? Gloria, thank you so much for the super chat. And congratulations again for your job offer. And John, thank you so much for your super chat as well. Guys, I have to adjourn this live stream. I have a 4-year-old that I need to go back and homeschooling him. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up to these live sessions. If you guys have any more questions, please don't forget to drop it in the video. And do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you're really shy, you're not really sure, should you or should you not? And you all know better to add me onto your LinkedIn because I do blog every single week, twice a week, and pumping free content for you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but on LinkedIn last week, I wrote an article for Forbes of how to land a job with all of the MATANG company, which is Meta, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. I forgot about Amazon. Basically, all of your top employer of choice, giving you strategies on what to do. I'm actually focusing on another article for Forbes that is coming up for Q2, and I'm very excited for that. Thank you so much for all of your time. Be well, and I will see all of you guys next week.